Okay, guys, 6 p.m. It's my honor to welcome each and every one of you. It's August 25th. The council meeting, and Councillor Angie Delaney is not with us tonight. She is busy with her work to the Caribou Fire Center, fighting fire. It's my honor to acknowledge that we are gathered in the William Lake First Nations Wampanoag Peoples unceded territory. Thanks to the elder chief, the nation allowing us to do the business. And equally, I'm honored to welcome Director Forsett, very kind, good neighbor with us. And welcome, Director. Agenda on the table, please.
So, second.
Moved in second, Councillor Flashwaller, Councillor Nelson. Any addition, deletion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Minute of the regular council meeting held August 11.
So moved.
Moved in second, Councillor Nelson, Councillor Flashwaller, all in favor. I also like to welcome our Downtown Business Association Executive Director, Sherry, welcome. I had a very exciting and rewarding news to share with you. I don't know how many of you have heard before I move further down the agenda. It's not on the agenda, by the way. Don't scroll your laptop or computer. Pat Matthew, one of our best announcer, part of the GOAT family, is retiring from the GOAT after 45 years being on air. Mm-hmm. So if any one of you see him downtown somewhere, please wish him good luck and congratulate him. Yeah. It's an honor to work with the guy. I remember many election I have done, he was always there because he made my ads. That's why I know. Very good man. Hell of a person. You can always see him walking anywhere on the city of Williams Lake. Well, moving along, computer checks, please, staff. Oh, sorry, Councillor Moses.
On the topic you were just speaking of, have we had your worship provide Pat with an achievement award yet?
I am not aware, at least.
Okay. Could we?
I'll second the motion.
Motion for that.
So,
Please.
Your worship, through the council, so it actually doesn't need a resolution, just a request to the mayor. The mayor provides
Okay,
a
could we-
certificate.
That's what I thought, that's what they're moving in.
Second the recommendation
Yes.
from Councillor Moses.
So the resolution is the mayor be authorized to provide a letter of achievement award to Pat Matthew at the GOAT on the next council meeting.
Along with the certificate.
Is that okay with mover
Yes.
and seconder?
Perfect, thank you.
All in favor? Carried unanimously.
Thank you, Councillor
Congratulations, Mr. Matthew. Okay, computer checks.
The recommendation that the accounts payable, computer check, and EFT listings dated August 13th and 20th, 2026 be received for information.
So moved.
Moved in second, Councillor Nelson, Councillor Beam, all in favor. Carried unanimously. Councillor attending UBCM annual conference.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Manager of Administrative Services dated August 19th, 2026, Council approved compensation, registration, and travel expenses for interested council members to attend the UBCM annual convention being held in Vancouver, BC from September 14th to 18th, 2026.
So moved.
Moved in second, Councillor Nelson, Councillor Flashwaller. Some of us are traveling on 13, so we can join on 14-hour schedule, and I believe some staff members are traveling on 14th morning. Councillor Moses, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. UBCM is an event where we get to have the ears of the provincial government and of the Union of BC Municipalities itself. I think this is a really important year for us to be attending to make sure that our community's needs are heard and that we can continue obtaining the services and the funding that we need to live the lifestyles that we've earned up here in Williams Lake.
Thank you, Councillor Moser, explaining that. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Next item is cannabis license referral for 20-1185 Prosperity Way, Marlee Den.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the planner dated August 17th, 2026, Council directs staff to initiate the public notification and agency referrals process for the proposed relocation of an existing retail cannabis store to be located at 420-1185 Prosperity Way, legally described as Lot 3, District Lots 7046, 7047, and 8836, Caribou District, Plan BCP 38739, for the provincial license referral, and further that this application be brought back for final consideration of Council at their October 6, 2026 regular meeting, following receipt of the public input at the meeting, as well as agency and public comments received after completion of the public notification process, including notices to be posted by the applicant in the required timeframe, conducted in a format as approved by the Chief Administrative Officer.
Moved and seconded. Before anybody raise your hand, I just want you to know this is not increase in licensing in Williams Lake. This is only relocating from point A to point B, number one. Number two, I was asked to let council member know we should not be discussing anything in particular. This is just process starting point. The proponent of the license is here. If you had any question, I can request the proponent to come to the podium and answer any question. At this point, I would respectfully request, try to stick with the starting of the process. That's it. No more, no less. It's not approval or disapproval. It's authorization so staff can start the process. That's what it is.
I'll call the question.
Thank you. Question being called. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Free Transit Service Municipal Day, Saturday, October 17th.
The recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Director of Municipal Services dated August 19th, 2026, Council approve free transit service, i.e. conventional and handy dart, for the municipal election day taking place on Saturday, October 17th, 2026.
Move the recommendation, Your Worship.
Moved and second, Councillor Nelson, Councillor Beam. It's a tradition we have done every election. So the people have no excuse that they could not travel or can't afford the taxi or couldn't get that ride. It's to promote democracy. Any question, comment, concern? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried unanimously. Committee of the Whole Council report.
Committee recommendation that pursuant to the report of the Chief Financial Officer dated August 1st, 2026, and pursuant to the report of the Chief Financial Officer dated, Council approve the proposed budget 2027 and 5-year financial plan preparation timeline, and further that, 1, staff be directed to prepare a budget based on maintaining services and staffing levels at existing levels. 2, achieving a 0% increase in the mill rate to be a goal for preparing the budget. 3, a report be prepared for Council's consideration on options for funding the water treatment plant project. 4, staff be directed to investigate options for grants to offset the cost of capital projects. And 5, an analysis be provided showing the cost of maintaining the status quo service levels compared with 2026 costs.
I'll move the recommendations, Your Worship.
Moved and seconded. All it is, the council is basically guiding the staff, to start the process. This council have almost 2 months under their operation. The door is open for anybody and everybody. 3 council members are not running. 3 council members, including me, are running. Whoever is in here on November, December onward, they will finalize. But as of today, the guideline is just a strictly guideline given to the staff by the council committee of the whole. We spent an hour last Tuesday on this item. We are requesting the staff to maintain the service level highest priority is this council has worked very hard to obtain $25.3 million project, $19+ million on the water treatment plant. The cost has gone up. We just approved the council member going to UBCM. That's where we do the arm wrestling with the provincial and federal government. We have requested last year to the Premier's office that the budget for the water treatment plant has gone way, way high than 25 million. That's where we would be. Basically, council has given the marching order, letting the staff know water treatment plant is the highest priority. We will hold everything else the way it is, the service level, manpower level. There's no, at this point, a reduction or increase in services. But again, the new council, when they sworn in, they will have the final say. They will decide how they want it. Most of this council wanted to hold the service level, the level we are in. Nobody is saying one way or the other, but hold the line. Everybody respecting being a fiscal responsible, they wanted to make sure the ends are met with our budget. I got Councilor Flashfuller, Councilor Nelson to speak, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, I just want to state to the community, I will not be supporting this recommendation that came from the committee. I did have quite a few words to support or to explain that position in the committee of the whole council meeting. So that it's here on this live stream, I want to explain that I cannot at this stage support anything that has a 0% tied to it. And that's for multiple reasons. I feel at this point you shouldn't be determining what a taxation rate should be. And I noticed that it is stated at 0% for the mill rate. I think it's really important for community members to understand how taxation works. When you look at most communities and they talk about how much their taxation has gone up, they're talking about how much of a difference that taxation was from the year prior and what you paid. When we're talking mill rate, most of the research I've done, most communities don't talk about mill rate. Because a mill rate is there to assist a local government. If your assessments go up and you keep your mill rate at 0 at the same and you don't change it, guess what? You're going to be paying taxes because those assessments go up. And if you keep it at the same mill rate, you're going to be paying more. I've seen members come into meetings here where they've stated, what's the 0% I hear about? Why did my taxes go up? That's part of how it works. A mill rate is here for local government so that if your tax assessments also drop substantially, and we have to increase the mill rate so we get the same revenue to maintain the services that we want to maintain for this municipality. It's a tool for a municipality. And I feel that this type of talk just confuses the community, and I cannot support this type of recommendation that my colleague put on the table. I feel that we need to be fiscally responsible, and we do need to be fiscally responsible for the constituents of this community. And that means planning for the future. If you sit there and say, oh, we're not changing anything right now, but all of a sudden we realize, and we are realizing because we are doing asset management finally, that there are pipes in the ground that need repair, we need to plan for the future. We need to incorporate that into our financial planning. Right now, determining a set 0 is, in my opinion, just a political position to gain attention and votes. And I'm going to be flat out. That is my opinion. And I won't support that, and I will not take that position. It's not fair to staff. It's not fair to the community. So I will not be supporting this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilor Flashfuller. Councilor Nelson, please.
Well, for 4 years, I guess I've been campaigning every year at budget time because I voted against 3 of the budgets because they had significant tax increases in them. The last one I voted for because it was at 0%. I'm clear. It is an affordability issue out there. Well, some members around this council table want to open up the back of the truck and start throwing out the money and eat steak and corn and lobster. It's okay to be thin right now because people are asking you to make sure that you're running a thin, tight organization. It's called affordability. Pick up any newspaper right now. This council previously had a $16 million debt 10 years ago. Today, we owe $465,000 on 5 projects. We're going to be just about debt-free. We've got millions of dollars in the bank. It's called affordability. There isn't a mayor that I haven't seen yet, including the Vancouver mayor, has gone on record of running it 4 years at 0%. So they're feeling the pressure as well. The residents are saying, make sure you're running a very tight organization. There are geopolitical clouds that are coming across British Columbia. And those are some of the impacts that we have no control over. These are the guidelines that we've asked staff to do for 4 years in a row. This very same recommendation is almost carbon print for the last 4 years. And the success that we have been able to gain out of being able to ensure that we target a 0% has been fantastic. It has brought us significant capital projects through grants, a significant amount of projects of capital items that we have spent money on. So I'm not into wrapping up and looking to spend lots of money. I want to be fiscally responsible. And so when people turn to you and say, it starts at the local level, thank you for making it affordable as a community to live in. And while some of my colleagues want to continue to eat lobster and steak and a few extra pieces of corn on the side, I think we just want to be a little bit more frugal with what's going on with the tariff wars, what's going on in the forest sector. Let's continue to lead like we've led for the last 4 years, being smart, understanding where we want to go, and capitalize on the key project, which is the water project that we want to put in. We already know that's going to be $17 to $20 million. While we might be debt-free, we've got to figure out a way to ensure that we can have safe, portable water in our community. So I'll be supporting the recommendations, Your Worship. I think they're absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. Appreciate Councilor Moses, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, during this budget process, we're always bringing up that we're accountable to the community for keeping the costs low. And I agree this is important. But I also feel like that in this process, we're often overlooking that we're also accountable to our community for providing quality services. Our goal in this budget process should be to provide the best services possible to our community for the lowest cost possible and while being fiscally responsible. Fiscal responsibility in this instance could mean running as lean as possible, as my one colleague is pointing out, or it could mean making sure that we have the funds to provide the services that our community aspires to, as my other colleague is pointing out. And I really feel there's a middle between these two that we're aiming to reach so that we can keep the affordability while also really trying hard to provide the services that our community has grown accustomed to. These are services that we may have had for decades or that we're even still trying to get, but we're doing our best to ensure that we can provide these, and not only that, but to provide them at the lowest cost possible. So these are the hard goals that we're trying to reach right now, and I can see the benefits in all of my colleagues' views on it, and I'm really open to ensuring that we can reach some of those goals from each. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Moses, Councillor Beam.
Thank you, Worship. And I'm just going to put my 2 cents in. And as I reiterated the other night at our meeting last week, this is going to be a brand new council. Budget is over months. It is not a one-day thing. So I think it's a starting point. It's staying at 0. Your council, your next council, whoever's elected, it can all change. And that's why there's such a variety and so many points on how this budget is coming through, is because it really depends who's here at the table. And it's going to be a lot of debate, and it's a lot, like the amount of information that first term that people have to, from every department and how everything is going, is a lot to take in and a lot to discuss. And I just think that that discussion is going to be in the next group. There's no point in us getting in big debate. We've done it for 4 years. Let's wait and see what this new council does and leave it for them. Thank you.
Excellent point. Second round, Council Flashfuller, then Council Nelson.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I understand what all my colleagues are stating here, and I think it's, all their points are very important and very relevant. And to Councillor Bame's point, these will be newly elected members, and some of them may be completely newly elected members. And I want to make sure that they're starting off with a fresh, open plate. I feel that if this was wordsmithed a little bit differently, it could be drafted so it's not already setting a 0% kind of conversation, because they could be deep in conversations and it's going to come up at the table of, listen to this council, you all voted for 0%. I've seen and I've heard it. And then there'll be pressure on those individuals. And I don't want those individuals to have pressure. I want those individuals to be able to look at a budget that's created, that's looking at everything that a community possibly is requesting. How many groups have we seen come in here that want a sports facility? They want pickleball courts. They want active transportation. How's our waterfront development going? We're not discussing that. It's like the planning happens, a bit gets done, and then it stops, because big bucks is what is needed to actually make that stuff happen. And that comes from planning and budgeting, and now then transferring it into the organizational plan. That is part of that process. It's important. And I feel that we need to listen to all these people that have come here and said, we want these things. Sitting there and supporting a feasibility plan doesn't mean you're getting it. And if you set a 0% kind of mentality right after that, guess what? All you individuals that want that, it takes money. It really does. So think about the words that are being said. Is it for your vote? Or is it for the actual reality of creating something? Because there has to be strong planning that has to be through all of the process through the future. So I just want the community to think about that when they're making their decisions and listening to the words that are being said. I will not be running again, but I want the best for this community and its future. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Flashfuller. Thank you. And Councillor Nelson, please.
Thank you very much. I think that I agree with all of you. I think that this just creates a solid template, a direction that has been very successful for this community over the last 4 years. Look, let's not kid ourselves. We've got some big thunderstorms heading from the south towards Canada, and it doesn't look like it's going to end soon. So we need to ensure that we're ready for them, that we're prepared for them, that we are a community in transition that will be able to handle the storm. And this is no ordinary storm. This is the perfect economic storm that's going to ruin a lot of communities in Canada. So we're well positioned to handle this thunderstorm that's coming our way. And by being extra frugal on this, and I'll even go one step further. Councillor Moses and I were the two that did not support removing the permissive tax exemptions against nonprofit organizations. And I can tell you today, out of the 30 some odd permissive tax exemptions that we give, a number of those were church related. I have never seen the churches come out and be so supportive over the last couple of years. Those tax dollars that we grant them back are significant. And the amount of work that they give to our community is just beyond words of thank you. So there's something else that you need to pay attention to. I truly support, and I believe that this is the right direction to go. This is a template. If 7 new people get elected and say, hey, no, we're changing this, it's a policy. They get to change it. But this certainly provides a good guideline that has given this community a very bright future over the last 4 years. Thank you.
I totally agree with the both sides of the point. I think the word should be here, most of you said, being physical responsible. I don't want to get stuck on the 0% or 4% or 5%. Long as we are physically responsible, that's what the community is asking for. And another thing is, I don't want it to tie hand for the next council, like this council really cried when the previous council gave us $160,000 hand tied, beside other things. It was excellent program. Nobody said no to that, the childcare, to the school board. And I rather be physical responsible. Nothing get done free. I totally agree. But we cannot afford to raising 10, 20, 15, 30% taxes. We had a good meeting today, folks, for the working team. We got 8, I think I said the other day, if I didn't, we got 8 bid for the feasibility study for the indoor facility. We shortlisted 3. We are working, staff been given the direction to invite those 3 to have a interview system set up done. Then we'll pick whoever's going to do it. And we're looking forward. Yes, those issues came during the OCP. We have done record high capital, folks, last year. We are doing record high capital this year. Longer you wait to do any infrastructure, any work for the community, more it's going to cost tomorrow. So we are holding, we are doing our best. I was out and about yesterday and today, couple hours yesterday, couple hours today. Trust me, anybody that I talked to, this council got kudos from the people. There wasn't one person who was upset. Yes, there was a minor concern raised. Yeah, we are concerned about the drug being used in the publicly, in the open, the homelessness, the mental health. We know all these things, and they know, they realize that there's nothing this council can do, but we are keeping the community informed. We're working with the senior level of government. We'll keep working. This is just, like I said, the previous item, one of the items, this is the guideline for the staff, but final budget going to come November, December, January at 27. So don't get stuck on this. Councillor Moses, please.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I agree with Your Worship. We don't want to be leaving the hands tied of the next council. If these final budgetary decisions are going to be made by the incoming council in November to January range, I feel like our goals should shift slightly. Rather than leaving them with just our direction, maybe our goal should be to leave them with that open plate of options that Councillor Flaspoller is talking about. And this recommendation that we're making tonight, or that we're voting through, in reality, it's going to be a recommendation from us to the next council.
Correct.
Yeah, so we need to make sure that we leave them with the best options to choose from possible. If we end up leaving them with a plan that's lean, they can rework it and add in what they believe that our community needs once they're elected. It's very difficult for us to add in their ideas right now because we don't know who's going to be in these chairs in a few months. But if we leave them a strong template that they can add to, I think that's probably our best way of moving forward. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. I'll call the question. All in favor? Oppose? Councillor Flashfall opposed. Motion carried.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Nelson and everyone else. UBCM resolution.
Clerks note that the letter from the UBCM dated August 11th, 2026 regarding extraordinary resolutions 2025 ER1 existing policy as related to the City of Williams Lakes 2026 healthcare provider crisis resolution submission be received for information.
Moved and seconded, Council Flaschfuller, Council Moses. Councilor Bain, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, as I was the person that wrote this one,
right.
of course, I'm disappointed, but I'm also the person on UBCM. So I just want to provide some clarification, although I wasn't part of the discussion of having these, because I think they continue to be, as you can see by all of the many resolutions that were put forward on this issue, that it's not going to not be an issue. But the plan from UBCM is you just get, as you all know, so many resolutions, and you cannot possibly follow up. So the goal is to, of course, streamline them, to make them, to put them together, because there are just so many. I mean, what does FCM have, 3 or 4? I mean, like, we have hundreds every year. And so to go through, so I understand the mentality on the UBCM board side, of course, as being a part of that decisioning board, but doesn't mean I won't be following up on this one and seeing how, I still think there needs to be a huge task force. I've actually mentioned that, I mean, to the premier, that this is a big issue to get more education through to people. But anyway, this will be something I will follow up with. And although disappointing to not be able to bring it forward, it is obviously such an issue, as multiple have brought it forward and will continue to be in front of UBCM, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Bain. Keep up the good work. Council Moses.
Thank you, Worship. Yeah, I agree with my colleague that it's disappointing that this won't be brought to the floor at the UBCM convention. In response to this, could we perhaps make sure that these topics are added into our meetings with the provincial ministers at the UBCM convention so that we can still do our own personal advocating for these topics that are important to our community?
A point well taken. We have to see, I'll talk to the staff.
Okay.
What is the other priority? Because in 15 minutes, I don't want to lose the time for more important subjects. Then I'm not saying this is less important, but point well taken.
Okay, if they can.
Definitely. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. I got Council Flaschfuller, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I have a question actually for my colleague, Councillor Bain, in regards to this. Ultimately, though, is this transpiring, Councillor Bain, because there's other resolutions that are so consistent coming from other municipalities? So if that's true, I just want the community to understand that as much as this is being indicated as being put on the back burner, and this is 2025 resolutions, correct? Not what we have coming up for 2026. This is last year.
That's when we put it.
And yeah, so I just want to provide clarity to the community that these may get bypassed by UBCM and they're letting us know, but it's because there's other resolutions from other communities that maybe are somewhat consistent. I see one from Dawson Creek and Alberni Clackwood Regional District. So
I'll get to Council Bain to respond.
Thank you.
Please, Council Bain.
Thank you, Your Worship, through to Councillor Flaschfuller. So actually what's happened is, what they're saying is within the last 5 years, or that there has been similar resolutions, and they're listing all of them, how many of us have come up with. So that's what I'm saying. It's a consistent problem because so many communities are continuing to say in the regional northern regions, we are still, and rural, that we are missing providers, we need help, blah, blah, blah. But if these have already been put through and dealt with, like been escalated to the government, so these could be from this year, but they're saying they're just listing ones that were in or near the same, but it could have been last year. And this is our this year. 2025 was, we had to have them in last year. Like, we did these in February or March or whatever. We put them in before NCLGA. So this is our 2026 or whatever, but yeah. Yeah, it would have, I just wrote this one for February or whatever this year before NCLGA. So, and I think they had to be in by March. But that said, so these are very similar. What they're saying is we've addressed this, or it's too similar. So they're just trying to streamline. That doesn't mean it's not part of the conversation, because so many of us are still dealing with this as an issue. But they're saying it has been brought forward, and they are not gonna, like, they'll do it as a group. We know that that's an issue, kind of thing. Yeah.
perfect. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Okay, you got all your question answered. Excellent.
Yeah.
All in favor of receiving, carried. Well, and next one is proclamation recognition, please.
Clerks note that the list of recognitions in the agenda be approved in accordance with Council Policy Number 235, just be received for information.
So moved.
Moved in second, I got representative of IHA sitting here. If you had any question, she's available. She could be talked, and we got information in color. It's a pretty disturbing news and information. It's quite heart-touching information. I would request everybody, please read and pay attention to the Council Moses.
Thank you, Worship. You're saying we have a representative from the
IHA. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you would you be willing to give us a rundown of the event that's in our notes here, the International Overdose Awareness? Yeah. Is it?
Hold on, let me get the.
Well, you said we could
is
ask her a
it-
question.
No, I have to get the protocol first.
Okay.
Is it okay? Okay, is council, well, my direction is, it's okay if council approve it. Are you folks okay? Okay, please,
100%.
floor is yours.
Thank you,
Thank you very much. My name is Sophie Galvan. I work for CMHA and I am the chair of the Community Action Team. Community Action Team is actually organizing our International Overdose Awareness Day on Monday, the 31st. I would invite you all to attend, and I would invite anybody in the community to attend. The statistics that I gave you are actually pulled from Interior Health. And I think the most shocking one, something that I want for everyone to keep in mind, is the 68% of our overdose deaths are happening in homes.
Yes.
These are our neighbors, our friends. I have met with many people in the community who have said, I know someone who passed away. I know that my family member is struggling with, substance use. I would love for everyone to consider the possibility of spreading that information out there. The stigmatization is the thing that keeps people away from asking for help, that keeps people away from possibly even utilizing some of the services that are available in this community. And we have a lot of services in this community that are ready to help, to educate, inform. And so the 68% is the one that really sticks with me because I've seen the reaction of people in the community. These are people that are voting for you. They are people that are part of our businesses, our organizations. Men in trades specifically are a high number, a high risk. And so I would just encourage you, please, to spread that word around. It's really important. We want people to be curious about how to prevent this, how to support our family members, how to support our neighbors. Our neighbors are dying. And so the number increased by, I think, 11 or 10, I'm going to say 10. I'm going to keep it there, over 1 year. That's a lot. It's a lot. And everybody else who is at risk. And we all know how the substances are more and more toxic. Right? So for the day itself, we will be starting at 11 o'clock in the morning. We will be at Herb Gardner Park on Oliver Street, purposefully too, because we want people to see us. We want people to be curious, to come by and to maybe pick up a naloxone kit and learn how to use it. Learn what they can do. And again, this is not just on the streets in our community. This is in homes. And to normalize the conversation around substance use and overdose, to normalize this. It would be an ideal situation. So we would like to invite the community and even yourselves to please attend. Come by. We're going to have many tables. There will be hot dogs and there will be ice cream, and we will be handing that out to the community that does attend. Yeah.
And once again, it's 31st August. And what time you said?
From 11 a.m. until 2 p.m.
11 to 2. So we welcome
We
the
will have
community.
speakers as well that will be sharing their stories. We will have some activities. There will be a community canvas that we are going to be working on where people can place names of those they have lost or just messages of hope and encouragement. And there will be some music as well. And so we are going to make this event a successful one. And I hope that everybody's.
No, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. We'll encourage the community to come and attend and share the information on the back of the page, which is in the package. There's a number of phone numbers where we can get the help. Councilor Moses, I think you had your hand up, please.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. Thank you for this information. I've seen a lot of these numbers before through different organizations, but they're always shocking. Do you happen to have a digital copy of this to share? And
Yes.
Yes. Is it okay if the city were to share this page if it were forwarded to us?
I don't see any reason why we can't. Yes.
Okay.
As long as you send it out.
So
Yes, I will.
would you please email
I
it
will.
to
Or
our
Mr. Coupe, Ron Coupe.
Yes, sir. And thank you very much for
Oh, no
the support. Because we will be posting something on social media. And you've allowed me to place some posters out. And so we're very grateful for that support.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate it. All in favor of the motion? Opposed, if any, carried unanimously. Information announcement in roundtable. There's no roundtable, but anyway, council information package.
Clerks note that the council information package for August 25th, 2026 be received for information.
So moved.
Moved in second, all in favor?
Move adjournment.
Moved in seconded, all in favor? Carried. Thank you, folks.
Good job.
Appreciate it.